Welcome to the Drift Militia podcast with your hosts, John Jones and Brandon Harstead.
Today we're going to be talking about our next builds, our current builds, our new flagship builds, and where they started and where they're at currently, and hopefully future goals with them. We'll start off with Brandon because he had the S15 before I got my S14.
Yeah, so flashback to a year and a half ago probably. I was seeing some JDM cars, wanting to buy some. Who didn't want an S15? This is probably one of the beginning ones that was imported in. So a year and a half ago, bought it. Knew it was a rusty car. Didn't know how rusty it was.
You don't really ever do.
It was just a spec R with a HKS turbo kit, a 2.2 stroker allegedly. Pretty sure it's not. And just a clean car, garage Mac body kit, Voltex wing, AC, ran, drove, perfect. And was like, man, I'm just gonna keep this car clean and drive
Which was rad because it matched the kind of the same build that was going on, the cleanliness and the having full interior. It matched my Kooky pretty much the same.
Yeah, I was gonna match your purple car kind of.
But not purple.
Huh?
No, you were gonna paint it purple too?
No.
Oh man,
Absolutely.
I almost got you there.
I will never paint a car purple.
Well, the car was
unless it's for you.
the car was super clean street car. Had everything. I mean, pretty much everything you want out of an S chassis.
Oh yeah, and like no rattles. It rode good. AC, smelled like an S chassis. 300 horsepower, 350 maybe.
Reliable.
Drove it back and forth to your house. Only had the gas tank leak, but
That's typical though.
and it was kind of like, hey, before this gas tank leaks, maybe we just put a fuel cell in it and go full race car. But I don't think that's what started that.
Yeah, I don't know if that was definitely. I mean, once we fixed the gas tank, that was definitely an idea of do we want to run into this again?
Yeah, and as valuable as those are, actually had a guy come from Houston pick that up today, so that's cool. Shout out to Mark over there in Houston, Kooky Mark.
They're hard to get. I bought my last gas tank. It was like the third one left in the United States, and that was like 2017.
Yeah, but yeah, back to the S15. It was kind of like a
It's a super clean street car.
clean car. Put some Recaro SR3s in it, like make it super reliable, comfortable. Take it to cruises, car shows. I think that's what we wanted to do a little bit of.
Yeah.
And I had the FD too, and that was kind of, FD was more that for me.
Yeah, the cleanliness.
S15, I didn't think I was going to keep, honestly. I got it. I ordered a Vertex Edge kit. I actually posted the car for sale and was going to sell it. I was like, you know what? The FD is going to be this car for me. I don't need this. I bought the 1J S14, and I was like, I don't need two S chassis.
Yeah.
And got that car here, and it just wasn't what I expected. So part of that out.
Got a good chunk of parts for it. I mean, that turbo made the.
Well, thought about putting the whole JZ into the S14 or S15, and
I think that's when I started getting your ear though, because I feel like once the S14 was
you're
parted
like,
out.
yeah, but if you go JZ, you might as well,
Yeah, and the JZX was about done, and it was JZX was everything the S15 could be, but 30 times better. I mean, four-door, super clean.
No AC yet.
But everything is there for it. Yeah. Rides great. The JZX doesn't even make sense how it's a drift car. I mean, it's a street car.
So
yeah, it's just
in
everything.
Every aspect.
It just, you don't have the downside of, clunkiness. You don't have the downside of just all these rough bushing. It rides amazing.
Yeah. And then I ordered all the PBM kit. I was like, you know what? Who cares? I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna make it a drift car regardless.
Well, because at that time,
it's gonna be a street car.
At that time, the JZX had it, and the JZX drove.
Oh yeah, phenomenal. And
I mean, the PBM on a JZX is the only move, in my opinion, ever.
Yeah. And it felt great. So I was like, you know what? I want to make the S15 drive just like the JZX. I did all that, and
S chassis are built different though. S chassis are that raw driving feeling that you can't get from many cars unless they're just like.
Well, I did all that. I put all the angle kit on. The car had a massive vibration. Realized the motor mounts were bad. Ordered solid motor mounts on accident and made it completely worse. And so I'm like starting to hate this car, and I'm like, I don't even want to do this. I should have sold this car when I had the opportunity. And when I had the opportunity to sell it, that guy wanted to come from Florida and buy the Garage Mac body kit and the wheels and all that. And I was like, well, good thing my Vertex is coming in soon. I might as well part it out.
Well, then you see how much work it is after the kit's off.
Find out more rust. And it's like, man, I can solve like 90% of this rust if I just cut the back half of this car off.
And that's when it gets really interesting.
And that's when it became a race car. That was like, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
And you were like, you might as well build it to a pro car. And I was like, well, pro car, like SR power is not going to do it. And you're like, yeah, but just because it's a pro car doesn't mean you have to have pro car power levels. And I'm like,
But what's the point, right? When
But
you
what's
have
the
all
point?
these other cars that make 400 horsepower, what's
yeah,
the point?
Why just have 400 horsepower cars?
And that's where I was kind of sitting in the background. And I was like, all right, I want to watch this happen because building a pro car is very expensive.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in the background. I was like, this is.
I'm going to make it as cost effective as possible. Though.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the way we've always done it. And I was sitting there with my S14 build because I originally built it to match the JZX, and then you made the JZX 400 horsepower. And I was like, okay, well, a 5.3, 240 doesn't weigh much, especially it's aluminum block. It should still keep up with the extra 100 horsepower of the JZX.
But what's better than an S14 and
Yeah.
an S15 tandem?
And especially when people
And
build,
then you got the S13 community build. We get a good driver in there. Like
we have
obviously
so
not gonna
many
keep up with
options
800
now.
horsepower, but if we turn the boost down,
Yeah,
or maybe
you're not going to turn the boost down though.
I mean,
So there I am. That's why I went turbo on mine because I was looking at it. I was like, okay, you're going to have an S4 or S15 at this point. You already bought your 2J. So your 2J's
yeah, fully built 2J,
setting up for
forged bottom end.
700-800 horsepower.
Yep.
And I'm like, who am I to have a car that's all of our cars match in some way, shape, or form, even if it's version 1.
Yeah, the
Z.
FC and Z make similar power,
Yeah,
similar
so-
gear ratio.
And if you have a JZX that makes around 400 horsepower, you have an S15 that makes around 700-800 on high boost. But if you look at it, I could have a car that matches kind of both styles. I could have an S14 that makes, I don't know, 500 horsepower on low boost and makes 800 horsepower on high boost. I'm like, okay, I'm building a pro car too at this point. Then, so I said, you know what? I mean, our cars are pretty much always going to match, and some big part of me, whenever we go to events, is interchangeability. And so PBM kit ordered on the same thing.
Everything.
We're just
I
gonna.
love
We're
being a
gonna.
bad influence.
Yeah, we're just gonna
A
match
bad,
this.
good influence.
And I wanted to do JZ, but I mean, I just parted out my S14 because at that time it made 800 horsepower, and I was like, well, I'm never gonna drift that. I mean, I convinced you to do a pro car, and I was like, well, now.
You suckered yourself into keeping up with the Joneses. And
But-
I'm not even a Jones. You're the Jones.
Yeah, but see, the good thing about that is, it's whenever I want to make a decision like that, and it's the whole, even on the last podcast we talked, it's easier to have someone in the same boat with you
Yeah.
because you're like, it's not attainable, and then you do it, and I'm like,
If you can do it, I can do it.
let me see if I can conjure this to make this happen. And the next thing I know, I've got a turbo kit again.
Everything just falls into place.
I got a
and
full PBM, 2Fs on the way. We're making cars that are super similar. I went back to the radium fuel cell. You have a radium fuel cell. I mean, our cars are going to be designed similar to the point of power level and suspension, different in drivetrain and drivability.
Yeah.
You're going to have yours kind of live in the high range with more footwork, and I'm going to be more of just
torquey, and
floor it and hope for the best.
gas pedal and hydro.
Yeah, hey, I'll have my crutches and I'm going to use them.
That's fine. I'm gonna wish I had them probably. So.
No,
And we're gonna wish we had a better tire
But
sponsor.
the
so,
cool
like,
thing-
Tire Streets, come on, man.
yeah.
Let's
The
get
cool
some more
thing about
tires.
all
It's
this
gonna be the
is
sickest cars.
we can just jump in each other's cars. I mean, the drivability is going to be a little bit different,
Yeah.
but it's going to be the same.
Well, and maybe like we catch some doors, like right hand drive, left hand drive, hold each other's hands.
No, because I know I'm going to have a bottle of water and just open it and throw it into you. And then our cars are going to turn into missile cars all
I'm
over
gonna hit
again.
you with I'm gonna just keep whip or shaving cream, just like.
Then I'm going to drive off the track and blame you. But it's like, I think it's cool on our aspect of how we're doing this because one, I don't think we have a good grasp on what pro driving is. I don't think, because some guy made a post today and it was great. I was meant to tag you in it. It's like, let's play a game. This is controversial. May make some people be offended, but let's play a game. Go to your local drift event, see how many drivers that have quick change rear ends in their car and are on a single lane, like driving solo. But we're over here building pro cars and we're going to drive them.
Well, and that's like something that's crazy. It's like you go to, yes, pro cars go to grassroots events.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely do you see them tandeming. I mean, I guess it's kind of one of those things.
I think it's understandable when you look at it, like how much cost you're up to lose.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it's like,
I'm not gonna do it and not tandem.
I'm not going to build this car not to have fun. And I know that's where my downfall is on a lot of my cars.
Yeah.
Because every car we build, the first event, we're like, oh, like we went to Mid Pond. I think we were dooring each other at Mid Pond.
Yeah.
It was
that-
like right
we
after
just got the livery on.
livery on under 24 hours, and we're like, this chrome livery.
Oh, dude. I did just get the SSRs chromed.
Are they here already?
No.
Oh, yeah.
But once, like, I'll throw those on the S15. Maybe you need to mess around, put some chrome.
No,
chrome
I'm
three
staying.
piece.
I'm
Come
Kansai.
on, man.
No,
Let me-
only wheel going on my car is Kansai wheels.
Yeah.
I mean, we could get another set of chrome set from Kansai, whatever it is. Kansai is the only
Okay,
wheels.
then
in
let's
my
just send our wheels out to get chrome, the Kansai wheels.
I mean, we can. If they're like all for it, I'm all for it. So we'll have to talk about that. I'm sure they'll be down for that.
Yeah, because hey, and maybe like they're in Anaheim. I'm not sure where Kansai is located, but they're in California too. Maybe
We make
maybe
some
we can
happen.
just get some drift militia wheels, like special edition
Hey,
center caps and chrome.
I'm down. We're doing big things. I mean, we got to get the cars done. So what is your like goal of when you want your car done? Because we both have to send them off
My
to get
goal
caged.
is like tomorrow.
What's a realistic goal?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the realistic goal would probably be January 1. Like either ready to have livery put on or liveried up and done. That would be rad. Is it a possibility? I'm 100%. Yeah, I think we can do there. Kind of got a busy schedule, both of us right now.
Yeah.
But we've been known to make stuff happen regardless. So
I'm still set September. I don't know if that's even a possibility, but I'm set for September. That's
and that's perfect because you want that car done to take a different car to what Street Lust event?
No, I want to take it to Kansai's opener, or Kansai's
In
Invitational.
Oregon?
Yeah. So that's what's going to be hard.
I'll take the Chaser, like because like you said, you can keep it on low boost.
Yeah, I mean that's what's going to happen. I mean
Because the Chaser's already on Kansai's and it looks sick.
Yeah, so I mean we have the same matching wheels all the way around. It's going to look really sweet. The livery is going to be kind of I don't have to come out liveried, so yeah, they would match pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, other than mine not having a rear window because it's going to be
Pro car.
but yeah, I mean I could test it there for sure. I mean it's like it is the original of Cam Makers, and we've hit Cam Makers so many times that a replica track should correlate over to the same
Yeah,
drivability.
hopefully.
If we can just not door each other, that would be great.
Yeah, but if it's the same track, and I'm just gonna, I don't know. The Chaser's beautiful.
I'm going to do what you do to me. I'm going to put on high boost and run away.
I'm just gonna like not let it happen.
I'm just
gonna outdrive.
We're
you.
gonna be like 500 horsepower. You're like, oh, I'm about to get you. I'm like, hold on.
You're gonna high boost and light the tires up, and then I'm just gonna drive through you
Yeah.
because I'm gripped up, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
maybe.
maybe I should have done that.
Maybe we'll have to see all that. goes.
Back to the new flagship cars, though. I think we got a little distracted.
Yeah, it's crazy how we're doing it because I feel like a lot of people just take their chassis and they find the better version of it and they upgrade it. So for you, it would be like an
Get
FD.
into FD, yeah.
Me would be either 370 or 400Z. But we're taking the approach of style, and style is one of those. Not saying FD isn't, but going back to like what I would say cookie cutter drifting used to be, which was an S chassis, right? Like when you think of drifting, you think of S chassis pretty much from 2000 and when I started 2011 up. It was always S chassis, S chassis, S chassis.
Yeah.
So we're doing a little different approach because, I mean, modern cars have better driving suspension in my opinion, right? You're having like my Z will drive, I think, better than my S chassis ever will, because it's the front upper control arm and everything. The geometry seems better. I mean,
See, it's not a huge upgrade for me coming from the FC.
I don't know if it's much of an upgrade.
I'm going from a 89 to a 99, so I wonder. I mean, I would.
I
Assume
mean, the rear suspension might be an upgrade because I
It's a
don't
huge-
I don't understand how. I mean, even with the 8.8, I don't understand how your rear suspension,
Yeah,
the trailing
the
arm
trailing
thing,
arm stuff.
is weird. But the front's pretty much the same.
Yeah, that should be the same, but a lot more power.
Mm-hmm.
Probably similar torque. I don't know. Probably still a lot more torque.
Yeah, a lot more torque. I think
Still going to be a T56. So, what are you going to do as far as transmission on your car? I know.
I'm still saying T56 and I'm saying 354 gear. I tell everyone I build my cars.
Right, I know.
the same.
But is that T56 going to hold up to the power levels?
Well,
Find
it's
out.
funny because Julian and I were talking about it. I was like, I put my 300,000 mile T56 in that car. And he's like, no, you didn't. I looked under there. I was like, I put a good transmission. So it's like a newer T56. I would say it probably has 100,000 miles
That's the
on
one
it.
you bought.
Yeah.
Where did we get that? Alabama?
We were on the way and somebody grabbed it. We grabbed it from somebody you knew.
I think we were going to Tennessee. I don't know.
Picked it up somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere on the way, we picked it up. And that's what's in there. The clutch is only rated for 600 foot-pounds of torque. So we're going to see how long that lasts. But it should be a reliable setup. This setup is mimicked to what I ran in my street S14, which was 800 horsepower, and I never had an issue.
So, as far as parts go on your car, what do you lack? I mean, I know there's a lot.
So I have the radiator. We're going rear mount radiator. The whole idea of a pro car is to push myself in a fabrication standpoint in a drivability standpoint that we've never been to, right? We've never had rear mount radiator cars. We've never had, I'm gonna try electric power steering just because I don't understand how it really works, but I'm gonna try to make everything as weight distributed and as simple as possible. So right now I'm just really waiting on fittings, AN lines, seats, and that's really about it. I mean, other than KBD body kit and then a new hood.
And harnesses. Let us
Yeah.
know what kind of harnesses y'all like, because we're having trouble finding one we like. John wants something that has good style.
Yeah,
and
matches
color.
the car.
Yeah, like right now we have Sparko harnesses that are kind of like a camo, so it kind of matches the militia.
It's kind of up in the air. I mean, I don't.
And we could always just go back with those, just some that are in date, and call it
Yeah,
good.
I don't know if I'm gonna chase the in date thing right now. I want to build my car to a pro spec.
Are you doing quick change?
No, I don't know. Like I said in the
Keep
last
it
episode.
Z33 diff.
Yeah, I don't know until I learn the car and can kind of be like, okay, I need this.
So
I
goal
need that.
is kind of get it running, make the power, and
Figure
then-
out
and
how to
then
drive
figure
at that
out
level.
what you need to change.
Yeah,
from
because
there.
my diff. I mean, a 350Z
I mean, why
diff.
spend $5,000 on a diff setup that you might not have?
Well, I
made,
don't even know how to use.
That you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think 350Z diff is gonna hold up easily 800 foot-pounds of torque. It did on my street car, and that was welds, IDS coilovers, like dead hooking. So it didn't snap. I think it's gonna survive this. Drifting is a different game changer, right? We don't really know how. I mean, the shock is different than on the street. So I'm hoping that all holds up. I'm building my car as simplistic as I can, introducing new factors like rear mount radiator and electric power steering and all that, and rear firewall. Stuff that's gonna be different, which is there's gonna be so many new challenges that we're gonna have to face. I mean, when we first built both of our cars, we had issues kind of with your diff and everything,
Yeah.
trying to understand how to do that. So we're gonna run into a bunch of challenges. That's why,
Well, I think it'll be different with S chassis just because so many people have done it. So like with the FC, I run into an issue, and there wasn't like there's a lot of like there's like 3 guys that are coming out in the pro spec or pro am area.
yeah, I've seen a lot of,
You know,
a lot of new
the Taxi
FCs.
Garage guy has done a pro car, and then
Doesn't Colette have, I don't know if she's a
I
pro
don't know
car.
if it's pro.
She's in a BMW right
Yeah, I know, but she has an FC, I think.
Yeah, and then man, Blaze
Blaze,
Potts
yeah.
is doing a pro car. It's wild to me. I mean, it's cool. I love an FC, but that chassis just takes so much more work than any other chassis. I feel
You
like.
have to want it. But that's the cool thing. I mean, how many times we go to events and people are like,
Oh,
look
yeah.
at that FC, and they're like, look at that Z. Like it's almost like an insult to have a Z, which is cool, just because you see the different aspect of what people like. I still think we're going to run into issues because of the fact of we're doing something we've never done with, right? Like I've never we did 2 rears on mine. Your 2 rear was super intricate. Mine was super basic on the Z because the Z is pretty much set up to where all the structural points are.
Are you gonna go more basic, or are you gonna do like some removable bash bars where?
I think I'm gonna have it like the basic setup of how I have my Z. I like my Z because of the fact of if I can get hit in the rear, I can wall ride, and I have a
There's
huge
nothing
crumple
really
zone,
there.
and I don't really have to worry about that. Saying that, yes, I'll have a bash bar. I'll have an upper hoop in the rear just to support all that because this is the first time, like on my Z trunk, it's it's a mounted point. Now I have to do a mounted point with a deck lid that I don't understand.
I'm gonna do Zeus fasteners on mine, just 4.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to cut mine up. I want to run the wing, and I want to have enough structure that the wing, because the wing is still it's a plastic base with fiberglass wing. I don't want it to
Right.
rattle and crack. So I don't know the fabrication on that. This is the first time I'm going to be doing a tube front on my car as well. I mean, I'm sure that's the first. Well, you did.
Yeah. Well, no, mine was cage kits. And
Yeah,
it's
so we're gonna-
really easy. It was welding in some base plates, and then
Well, we're going to have to do the design of everything, and now we're dealing with making fabrication mounts for intercoolers and all that. So it's going to be.
yeah, this 2J game that's gonna be a game changer. Something totally different for me.
It's going to look so pretty though.
It
Like
does
I'm
look
very
different.
jealous. Like a turbo
It's
LS.
gonna sound
is-
even better. Like I mean, a good LS sounds great.
I don't think so. I mean, compared to any inline 6, I mean, inline 6 is just so beautiful.
I don't know. It's like one of those things. Is like you always want what you don't have. And I mean, I still have an LS car, but I feel like there will be a part of me. There will be a point where we're at an event, and maybe the JZ breaks or like something small breaks, and it's like we can't go to AutoZone and get it. Like when my alternator went out at Mid Pond,
Yeah.
I was able to go down, drive 45 minutes and get a alternator and continue driving. The JZ is not going to be that. So
I don't.
maybe it never gives any issues. They're
I
trying
feel
to.
like you get to a certain point though, especially with cars, that your build gets so far that you the parts that are going to break, unless you have a spare one in the trailer, you're not going to be able to get in time. Like even with an LS, yeah, maybe my alternator, but anything else you got to think about. Like I'm running
different power steering,
different power steering,
on
different
these
water
cars.
pump.
I mean, our flagship cars currently are very basic.
Yeah, they're
very easy to maintain.
They're for drivability. I mean, they're seat time cars. I mean, that's
aside from like the FC just finding all the weakest points of the chassis, and my lack of nut and bolt checks probably is.
Yeah, we should probably do that a lot more.
But it comes back to the technical side of drifting that we're not familiar with and that we're trying to get in touch with. Yeah, so you don't lag much for your car.
No,
parts wise,
yeah,
like
just
all the
fabrication.
big stuff is pretty much bought.
Yeah, I'm on the
same
trail
with mine.
end of
I've
it.
got T56 Magnum with the JZ adapter. I just got my ISR to S chassis motor mounts. I did the Grennis Racing Magnum. T56.
Yeah, which is the best kit on the market when I looked at it.
McLeod twin disc. And it comes with a trans mount for the S chassis.
You just got to get a drive shaft made.
I pretty much just need a drive shaft made. I'm curious on how the S15 diff will hold up, being a 2A. Should be fine.
I would
or
almost
pull it out and sell it. And
I would almost sell it.
Z33 diff.
I mean, if you did go that route, you could do the axle stubs, right? 2 or 350Z axle stubs, so they're stronger. But like cost versus
Maybe I do a Z33 diff. That'll just make us even that much more similar, where we can just have a stack of axles. I have 4 or 5.
I'm bringing a diff. I'm gonna have a diff welded. I'm bringing a diff with us everywhere we go, and then I'll have 2 sets of axles everywhere we go.
I have 2 sets of axles.
Yeah, so
too,
and
I have a diff. I need a.
That's the thing is like we can bring these things.
And I should probably sell that S15 diff. What'd you say? They're $1,500.
Yeah, they bring good money, especially with axles and all that. I mean,
if you need an S15
slide in the
1.5
DM.
diff, like holler.
Because I mean, the swap kit's easy. You can even because you're making so much power, you can go instead of having like I have an adapter thing, you can get I think it's like a Xterra diff cover that you actually use the 2 factory mounts on the S14 diff or S15 subframe. I just like the idea of being able to locate parts, and like when our area comes or when our breaking point comes, it's always going to be different axles just because we're making so much power.
Yeah.
And that's where the shock point's going to be. And
a good thing.
And we're running drop knuckles by PBM in the rear now, so our axles are going to be a lot more geometry, so they're not going to break as much.
And also, like, we're not going to put, like, I don't know what tire you're going to run on. I mean, I'm still thinking probably a 265, 255.
That's where, if I can fit a 265, which all my measurements should be correct, but I say should because I haven't actually done them. Usually I do everything on the car, then I order it. I kind of ordered everything in advance, hoping everything clears. But a 265, 35, 18 really puts us to the point where we have the same wheels that we run on our FC and our Z, that we run on our new cars. So if
I can't fit a 10 and a half under the S15, unfortunately. So, at least on that offset.
Yeah, I mean, we could always flare out your overs if you wanted to.
They're fiberglass, so.
I mean, look what you did on your FC on the front.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's more time and stuff, but if you think about it,
then,
if we show up to an event, let's say it's we go to Grid Life or something like that, because we're trying to get bigger events. We go to that and we have 18 wheels in the rear or in the trailer all mounted, and we don't have to worry about. I mean, we're saving costs, we're saving time. We're just going in there, swapping them out real quick, and then back on the track. It's a way to make it
more
us on track. But then again, if I'm making 800 horsepower, maybe it's a good thing I take a couple breaks because we went through 16 tires at US Air making 400 horsepower.
Yeah.
Think of how many more tires we're going to go through. But
turbo cars and all that, I mean, we're probably going to have to, well, I know rear mount and all that, maybe not. But
I feel like every time we build our cars, we build them to a point of we find the breaking point and it's not something we delay or we work around it. We fix the breaking point and we find our next one. Me doing my setup, just really replicating to another build, I don't know if we're going to have many breaking points. So JZ is a new learning platform for both of us, so we're going to find a new breaking point there. But I mean, LSs usually hold up decent.
Well, I'm just saying, like, as far as like heat management,
rear mount radiator is going to do a lot.
Yeah, JZs are kind of notorious for having overheating issues.
Yeah.
You know, hot lapping. I've heard. I could be wrong, but that might be our saving grace on tires. Like, hey, I got to pull off. My car's getting hot, and that motor's not one that I'm gonna be able to run 250. You know, and not care. Like,
you got to look. I mean, my replacement motor is not very much.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you take an LS to 230, 240, 250, and I mean, I've pushed my car like that multiple times with
Dog,
the
I'm
LS.
hoping my motor is still good enough to do
I
this.
think
So
you're-
we're gonna.
I hope yours. I hope we don't go to. Well, our next event would maybe be in June if we decide to go to Wisconsin, but that would be a drive to go out there and your motor let go or something.
Oh, on my Z.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about it because I'm getting to the point where I'm taking my side work to a different area and I'm pushing myself to, start learning more about things. So I'm going to get a couple more LSs and build them and throw them on the shelf because I want to learn, we're introducing turbo builds. We're listening. They have drift cams. I don't know anything about a drift cam. They have drift tunes. I don't know anything about drift tunes. I always get an off the shelf kit, put it in my car and hope for the
Stealing my
best.
tune.
Yeah, and literally my Z has been driving for since 2021 is whenever it was actually driving. 2022 is when we started. So that's 3 years on not a tune.
Yeah.
Literally stole the tune out of your car, put it on in self-tuning, and I've been on that. So I'm trying to learn the different aspects of actually building a car for what it was or what it is instead of just making it work, which is...
I don't know how you got so lucky because it's like
And that motor-
I did I tried to do the right thing. I got my motor retuned every
Yeah.
time, and it's like boom, 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 back to back.
Well, my motor is making 115, 120 pounds of oil pressure, and that should be washing out bearings.
Yeah.
And it's leaking it everywhere, which we're going to change that this upcoming
Mine
weekend.
still leaks. I don't even know why.
So it's learning it, but it's going to be cool having two flagship cars that are now, I guess, more iconic. Granted, saying you had FC was iconic.
I don't know. FC was a weird thing. It doesn't carry the following that an S chassis does.
No, it doesn't.
Now, the
but-
people that love FCs love FCs.
Mhm.
The rest of the world, it's more like, oh,
That's
you don't
240.
see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Z240. So yeah, these will be definitely more iconic cars, I would say, than
I think it's going to be cool because, like I said in the previous episode, they say 3 makes a team, 2 is just tandem buddies, whatever you want to take that as. But if we have an S search, because I'm sure even if the community car turns into something else, or we buy another coupe and fabricate it to pretty much make the same power to make the same setup in the future, we could have 3 just the iconic cars down the line.
I mean, like you said, you're gonna have a couple LS motors on the shelf. You probably have a spare swap kit. It wouldn't be anything to just
Yeah,
put it.
as long as I come up with a T56, I mean the rest isn't. And I want to fabricate a turbo kit. I mean, I bought a turbo kit just because I'm trying to save time and I'm trying to make this happen. But I feel like where we're going, pushing ourselves to new skills, just pretty much everything, an uncharted territory for us. Pro car, what's really next? What's really next for me is probably going to Japan and buying a JZX and learning to drive in Japan. But that'll be something that I think we attack next year.
That sucks. That means I have to buy JZX in Japan too.
Or we just buy Skylines or something. I want to do something next year that's
I love the
different.
JZX. I would buy, if it turned into something big enough, when it turns, I'm not even going to say if, I'm going to say when it turns into something big enough for us to travel for a week and go drive at Ebisu and have cars that we just leave over there, I'm 100% buying another JZX 100 Chaser.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I love the way that car drives.
the way the drives is
And
like I said.
I'm
doesn't
setting
make
it up.
sense.
I probably would leave it stock turbo,
Yeah.
but I'm putting PBM.
Oh, I tell everyone, PBM is the only suspension I put. I mean, my Z has a PBM angle kit. It is the only PBM is by far my favorite brand out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's probably more technical brands but PBM, there's not a better seat time suspension and feel.
That still feels good on the street
Yeah,
too.
than PBM. I've been running them since 2011.
Yeah.
I would love to do their new coilovers. That's probably my next biggest purchase.
What's the new coil?
It's like the professional stuff, like $4,500. They've got their own reservoir. It's pretty much the top of the line coilover. Like BC has their set. I mean, all these Feel has their set. All these companies have their drift line coilovers.
Man, I would have just bought those.
Yeah, they're
Is that new? That's like new?
no. They've had that for a few years. I want to say that's what FDF ran on their car for a while, and their Pro S14. So it's like it's another charted territory we're going to go into, I guess, when we get to that point. I don't know if I'm going to compete in Pro. I might do these local competitions and these shootouts and stuff like that.
Just see where we stand.
But I think this flagship car is going to push me to drive harder and faster, and I don't know if that's really possible. I mean, the faster, obviously, because of the car makes more horsepower, but I feel like I drive super aggressive in my Z. You drive way more aggressive in your FC, but you have to.
Yeah.
Like, I drove that car at that Cam Akers, and I was like, this is weird. Like,
Yeah.
like my car obviously drives itself, so it's a little different in that aspect. But I'm interested to see how our flagship cars go because we're changing, rebranding Militia. We're going to be more community based going forward. We're a distributor for Kansai wheels. We just sold our first set of Kansai wheels.
Yeah, some Astros.
Yeah, so we're going to keep pushing, trying to make brand awareness with other brands too. And hopefully this rebranding of us being S Chassis and us showing, this is attainable for us. This is how we're going to push moves forward for us. I think it will. I think we pushed pretty well. Now, documenting this is hard because I've tried to document mine.
I'm really horrible at it.
But like the two rear is something I'm struggling with right now because I got to do the shelf for the fuel cell and now I got to do the substructure.
Yeah, because it's like, and like we talked about before, you'll start one thing, you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to cut this out and get it ready. And then you're like, ADHD, I'm going to mess with the angle kit or whatever.
So I've made like these little like update. I mean, the video is going to be a really quick smash video. I post on YouTube, but that's hard documenting it because this car, like our last.
And S chassis is like the back of your hand at some extent.
So it's
maybe not to the level you're building this one, but still, it's like I'm not going to video it. This is something I can do with my eyes closed.
Well,
but it's things that
it was like
other
throwing the
people
suspension
to,
on. Yeah.
Yeah, like that stuff that somebody out there is like, man, I really like your videos, but I don't know what you did there, and that might be something we need to do too. Some more like tutorials.
Well, so I want that to be our.
Maybe that could be our push personality.
The next. Well, yes, but
and community.
The next car that we build.
We need to build a car like
Together. No, that's what I'm saying. 100% together, because then we could sit there and we could talk about it, and maybe it'd be like a podcast thing where we drop a video of it, and the next.
Dude, that'd be dope. Like a podcast sitting by the car, and then we're like, you know what? While we're talking about this, let's come over here and show you
how to do it.
Where S chassis gas tanks leak, and what you should look for, and basically how you can fix it, which is replacing it or going fuel cell.
Yeah.
Because we've attempted. I thought we had some really good stabs at fixing that first S15
Well,
tank.
I mean, I've fixed mine. I mean, this was 2011. I fixed it twice, and then it leaked again, and I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
But there is different ways to fix it, and I do think if we build one car in the same place together, I feel like that's going to be.
So what car should that be though? It should be something neither one of us have done. That way it's new.
I like the idea of like another S14 or an S13, something we have like
I got
ample.
an S14 sitting on a lift you can finish right now.
Well, I'm just saying something that we have ample parts for that we could take to a bear show.
And keep it cost effective.
Yeah, and we can keep it budget friendly. I mean, that's what my VQ S13 is right now, right? The community car.
Maybe we build the old JZL Cage S14 back there.
And we could do a VQ swap.
You have all the parts on there.
Yeah, I have literally all the parts.
I have the car.
Yeah, so that's something definitely we can do.
Let's get the flagship cars.
Yeah, that's the
done
thing
first.
is focusing on these new cars, and I call them pro cars because that's the level they're built to. I know a lot of people throw that terminology out because what is actually a pro car?
Yeah, because the FC and Z are relatively close to what a pro spec car would be.
Well, see, that's the thing is they could go out and compete in pro spec right now. They meet all the requirements. The only difference when I look at a pro car and I say, like, I hate the terminology of race car because, right, everyone would be like, oh, that's my race car. No, it's just your Mustang that you drive every day to work. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's the same thing. I saw your shop page post about what is a classic car, right? Yeah. It's all an interpretation of what you see it as. Me for a pro car is when the car is to such a point that it is rear mount radiator. Yeah. It is making above 500 horsepower, which I know there's going to be arguments to that all, but it takes the street ability out of it. But our cars are still going to be street cars because mine's still going to have turn indicators. It's still going to have horn.
Absolutely.
It's still going to have everything.
I don't think I'll ever build a car that I can't drive down the road.
No, all my cars will have titles.
And
they'll
being
have
here in
insurance.
Oklahoma, like it's pretty lenient.
Yeah,
so
you can drive it on the street as long as you're respectful. So that's when I say pro car, I mean everything I can think of that I've never done before, and that's
one thing we need to think of. Fire suppression.
Oh yeah, no, I already looked at the kit.
Well, I mean, I have too.
Yeah, that's
it's
another.
It's pretty cost effective.
So that's another. Yeah.
And we should probably do like some cool shirts and ice
No,
packs.
I'm an S chassis. I want to remember when I was like 16 sweating
just be miserable?
outside at Stroud, hoping that it would just rain for 10 minutes so I'd feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, we can invest in stuff like that.
We have time. Like, and that's everybody. You have time. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're going to build these cars relatively quick. Not as quick as I would like to, probably you'd like to. But in the scheme of things, comparably to other people,
Yeah, they're
it's
quick.
And there's other people that build faster too, and at the same time they're building it faster, it's way better quality. Than
Oh, absolutely. We are just two dudes making it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm learning to TIG to do my build. I
Yeah,
don't know how to do
I'm
that at
just
all.
hoping like I don't break glass when I pull, which the S15 rear window is going to get replaced with Lexan.
Mm-hmm.
But pulling like a windshield and back window, like that's kind of nerve wracking.
Yeah.
You know, even in a 240, even though that stuff's relatively easy.
It's harder to get. It's harder to get. I think we need to start buying S chassis. That way, when we do a community build, that we have parts on hand. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff
Dude,
for
I've
S14s.
been staying on Marketplace and I just haven't seen anything that. And honestly, the couple times I've saw stuff, I didn't have a trailer.
Well,
So I'm
nah.
like,
I'm to the point where I'm running out of room to park all my cars. That's something they don't tell you about how expensive it gets when you need to park your cars.
yeah.
Like I'm running around to the, I mean, you built a shop, but it's like I even look at the shop I have and I'm like, okay, now I got to play musical cars to get all my cars out.
Yeah. Especially right now in storm season.
You don't, like, make all
Because you just lose your whole investment if it gets destroyed in a
Yeah.
hailstorm.
So it's going to be different. We're going to be different doing these pro cars, and this is something that I think the community could really dive into, just because they're seeing something that's, I mean, S chassis are done a million times.
You know, being that we're building pro cars, something that you have to think about is seats, right? I've got my seats sitting here behind me. You're going Halo seat, I suppose, now.
I don't know yet.
It's not a pro car without a Halo seat,
I know, but like,
but that's my definition.
yeah, my idea though is to buy seats for now, get the car cage to those seats, because I just need general seating, which all seats are going to be general seating, and then take those seats and put them in the community car afterwards. So it's like because it makes more sense
Just
for me.
repurpose them.
Yeah, to get and then get that car to where, because I have
Get it to where it's driving.
S14 seats in that car right now, and they're terrible. Like drifting in that car would be terrible.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like a kind of a hand-me-down setup seats on that, and I don't know what seats I want because I don't know. I'm weird about seats.
But I know this is kind of off subject, but it's kind of got me thinking. Another thing we can offer to the community, like you said, we just sold some Kansai wheels. We're also distributors for all the big names, you know, Momo, Sparco, OMP, NRG, everything that you could need to build a car. I know
Yeah.
that's just like naming basically seat manufacturers because I was on that topic, but
No, you gotta think even radium fuel cells, right? Like,
Radium.
yeah, that's how I got my gas tank.
So we've got almost anything you might need besides like the, you know, smaller companies, WiseFab, FTF that aren't, but we're distributors through Turn 14. So basically,
If you look at our cars, we can either get you that part or put you in the contact with the people that can get you that part.
and maybe save you some money. So
Yeah.
man, as you're building these cars, reach out to us. Let us help you as our community outreach to get you better deals, get you parts faster. Because yeah, that's something like we just got a US wing. Also, like your fancy stuff, we're dealers for Mastermind as well. So we're trying to make this stuff attainable for ourselves by becoming dealers, but also make it
Well, it's an
easier.
opportunity for you guys to save money to buy parts. I mean, you got to look at it, and especially in builds like us, I'm going to be nice on this. We're going to be 30 grand in these cars. That's being nice. We're going to be 30 grand in these cars. If we save $10 on this part, over the 30 grand, that 30 grand is going to turn into $5,000 of savings, possibly, right? Like you're looking at massive, when you're buying bulk order of parts and you're saving 25%, maybe that's $250, maybe that's $15, but that $15 added up over 6 purchases now can get you that angle kit.
Yeah, and 25% is a stretch on most of it, you know. But a dollar saved is.
Well,
a
no, I'm
dollar
just saying
earned.
like
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
If you look at, you add up everything you've saved and you're like, that build would have cost me $50,000, but I got to do
Absolutely.
it for $45,000. You take that extra $5,000, you can spend it on tires, you can spend it on whatever. I mean, it's just,
And that's kind of, you know, the goal of it is to make it obtainable. That's what we've been doing for the past couple of years. And anybody that wanted to ask, like, how do y'all do it? How do y'all just, man, come sit down with us. Ask us how we do it. And maybe we can give you some ideas to help you do it too. Maybe you have some ideas that can help us.
yeah, there's no set way to making it happen other than making it happen, but making it happen is different for everybody, right? Like you talk about boy math and a lot of these things. I mean, we hustle, we buy cars, we part out cars, you know, we make deals with our buddies, you know,
Like
if
you
I
said,
buy
you
this
got a
car.
bunch of spare S14 parts, so like a lot of stuff you already had.
Yeah.
Like you needed I needed a wingless trunk. You needed a trunk that had holes for a wing.
Yeah.
So we swapped trunks, and it's like cool. Now I don't have to weld a million holes, and you don't have to drill holes in a perfectly good trunk.
Yeah, so it's just, man, and I think a lot of people, granted, I feel like we're almost an anomaly because there's not a lot of people out there that
Are willing to put in the effort.
not even that, but that are in a community that shows you, we can do this, right? You and I will sit down and we're talking about it, like, how can we get to this point?
Yeah, so like the car community, I want to say drifting, but everybody's like such gatekeepers on their
Dude,
secrets.
my dad, we were driving to pick up a wing to Texas. I got the OEM Kooky wing. My dad's like, and my dad's into cars, but he's not into cars on the level of us. He's like, yeah, I never understood that whole, gatekeeping wheel fitment.
Yeah.
Right. My dad and I had this perfect
yeah.
conversation. I said, what's funny?
We've kind of gatekeeped our paint code, which it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And,
but I mean,
and if you look back, there's comments where we've given it.
Yeah,
out.
but like the gatekeeping thing is hilarious to me because, and especially in the wheel community, and this is why I've had real wheels. You have real wheels. I tell everyone my specs is because people are like afraid for their build to get copied.
Yeah.
If you can copy my build, and I can show you how I did it, go ahead and do it. It takes a lot to buy in to do this, but if you can do it, more power to you. I don't care if my car is copied.
Yeah.
I have an S14, I have a 350Z, I have an S13, I have another S14.
It's all been done.
It's
already.
been done.
Yeah.
It's been done. And if we can walk you through how to do it
The
and
wheel
how to
spec
save you
thing,
money.
Yeah, that never, like, because you know what I mean? Like, so many people are going to ask you your wheel specs. Like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That just made the math easier for me. I might not even be trying to achieve the same thing, maybe something similar. You know? But yeah, I don't think
wish I could remember the guy's name. Yeah, I have him on Instagram. I remember I was 16 years old. I messaged him. I was like, hey, this is when Varstone was massive.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love the set of, what are your wheels? What are your offsets? And he gave me some terrible offsets. Like they were completely wrong. So
wrong.
I messaged Varstone and I was like, hey, I want these set up. And they're like, no. They messaged me back. I think it was on Instagram, and Instagram was just coming up. They're like, no, I don't think you want those wheels. So I messaged him back. I was like, hey, I messaged Varstone. He's like, oh, you were serious? And he gave me his specs. Real cool dude. Like, he's kind of messing with me first. And then I bought him 16. I don't know anything about anything. Wheels come in, they fit beautiful, perfect, and everything. I'm like, I don't understand the point of gatekeeping. He was cool. He set me up. He set me up as a joke and then realized I was serious and helped me out. But I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for, to kind of walk people through builds.
Yeah, make it easier. Like, if we can. Like,
well, I mean, you think about it. Gatekeeping makes less people get into the motorsports. Less people get to that point. The more people we have, it's like supply and demand. The cheaper everything gets for everybody else. Yeah. The more events we have, the more local people are accepting to us renting out their warehouse to drift or wanting us to come along and shoot videos. And so it's just growth all the way around for everybody. And we're there. We're there. We're making it happen. It's crazy how we've gotten. I talk about it and I'll always talk about it. The pro builds is something I never really imagined. When I was 16 and I was driving my 240 with an RB and I was like, man, one day I'm going to do this and this. And then as I got older, I was like, I don't really want to do this because I don't have the means to it. And I built all these other cars and I'm building to my new skill set.
I remember 2011-ish being at Mineral Wells, FC, some $20 used tires on the back, 195s or something in an LS1 FC, no angle kit, no hydro. And just like, I think it was Zach Ferris was out there in his Z and car was set up. I don't know how similar it is to what he has now, but I was like, man, one day I'm going to have a car that's set up. I'm going to be able to drive good enough to do that. Like, and now I have like
a bunch of them cars, yeah.
And I'm like, this is wild.
But I mean, you see inspiration, right? You see a car like that, and you're like, I don't know how it's doable. Then you just start doing it. I mean,
and even my dad, he was at that event with me, and he's just like, now that car's set up. And like, that's cool. And
it doesn't.
We didn't know nothing about it.
It doesn't really take a lot of time. You look at like 5 years ago now, but 5 years ago we weren't really. I mean, it's easy for someone that comes from sim, right? That has that ideology on how to do it. We were drifting, but were we actually drifting? I mean,
like power sliding corners.
Yeah, and we were like, okay, and I was trying to tandem with people, really didn't know how to tandem, and then we started driving together, and in 5 years, we went from having stock 350Zs to building pro cars, to having supporting cars in the back if our pro cars aren't ready. We have these cars, we're building a brand, we're making influencing happen. I mean, we're out here doing it. It's never too late for anyone to start. Take the opportunity of us trying to help someone out. Yeah. Be that person that slides in.
Reach out to us. Instagram, Facebook. Those are probably the two best ways to get a hold of us.
Yeah.
But a DM, we both have access to both of those. If it's a chassis that John's familiar with, which is most of them, I feel like
Someone slid in my DMs yesterday on Snapchat. And they're like, "Hey, I'm thinking about buying this FC. What should I do?" I said, "What's your goal?" He said, "Drift." I said, "Don't."
if you want to contact Brandon,
I said, "It is a very great chassis if you could have it set up, but you need to know your intention." He's like, "My budget's $3,000." I said, "Don't do it."
yeah. If you go into an FC, don't have a budget.
Yeah, I was like, "It's expensive."
It's,
I mean,
it's
you can
dope.
do it
I
if
love
you
the way
want
the
to.
FC is. I love the way it drives. Like that is a dream car for me. Like the way that car is set up, minus the LS. I was huge anti-LS. Even on OK Speed, my name was Roto Powa. You know, I just was a rotor head. You know, I'll never LS swap RX-7. That's just blasphemy.
And here we are.
Yeah, buying blown up motors from Japan. I'm like, yep, okay. Well, I've spent all my money on a turbo kit and a Haltech, and now the motor's blown. So I'm gonna part it out and put a $500 junkyard motor in it and call it good.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing is we've done it both ways. We can literally walk you through how you can make a stock car drift. We can make it happen your budget. If you don't have a great budget, bring it to me. We're gonna make it work regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a community type thing. We miss a lot of Oklahoma events because we travel a lot, and that there's downsides for community feedback on that, but there's upsides. If there's a time you need your car fixed for an event, and I'm not prepping obviously for that event, I can help you prep for that car. And it's something that we're gonna make a bigger impact in Oklahoma.
Or if you need parts fast, a lot of shipping is one day, and then if
Ordered Conzai wheels yesterday, showed up today.
that's still wild.
I don't understand how that happened, but that is absolutely rad. Super impressed on that whole entire setup for him. So he got his wheels, so he's gonna stance out his car. But I mean, we're here to help in literally any fashion we can. If you enjoy the pro cards and you want to follow along, keep watching. If you want to know more, literally either comment on this video, message us, hit us up at an event or something.
I can't wait till the first start off one. I'm like probably the most excited about that car, like out of any car I've ever had. Even the FD, like the FD was like I think I knew the nightmare that car could be,
Yeah.
and maybe I made it happen. But man, getting just straight hose on the first motor, like just
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
it
That's
is
what I was
what-
telling Julian. Julian's car is broke right now. He's like, "Man, I hate this car." I was like, "This is part of drifting, dog. Or this is part of building cars in general."
I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, I'm about like this close to throwing that motor away and getting an LS.
I mean-
like it'd be so much more simpler.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, I'm excited for your JZ car.
yeah.
I'm grateful for my LS car, but I
think
can
I'm just gonna put AC in it still.
You could.
No, I'm just kidding.
You could. I'm building mine as simple as I can because what we have attained and we have accomplished in our flagship cars for our 2022 flagship cars, we've had the most seat time, we've had the most fun. It's been super reliable for the most part for me.
It's all been stupid stuff for me.
Yeah, but it's the amount of memories I've made in that car. It's the reason why it'll always be a Mistel car, and I'll always keep it.
What's your plan with that car once you replace?
It'll never be replaced. I mean, it'll be the new flagship car.
So is that will the Z be a car that you just take to local events, or
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Do we just get an eight car trailer and?
Break, you have that backup.
I mean, the Z will always be reliable. I'll street drive the car. I love that car, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I will never get rid of my FC.
yeah.
I'm never gonna say never. If
No,
somebody
I'll
offered
tell
me
you
a
right now.
Stupid amount of money.
Everyone
I'll
knows I will not. No one will ever own my 350Z unless I die and my wife needs some money. I will never sell my. I will shoot that car up and I will crush it. I will burn it to the ground. I'll never get. There's some cars that just have a I'm sentimentally attached to most of my
I
cars.
haven't ever had a sentimental attachment to a car. The FC is probably the closest I've been to it. But then again, if somebody's like,
Dude,
I'm not even gonna put a number out there because then that's when somebody's like, I'll buy that car.
yeah, I'm like, no. I mean, my Z is not that worth that much anymore, and plus it drives too well. I mean, I know it's gonna get to a point where I'm gonna have to replace like the coilovers and stuff like that.
Yeah, it
'cause of
just
seat time.
sucks when a car just sits.
What do you mean? My Kookie's been sitting in my garage for like 5 years right now.
It kind of sucks, huh?
No, I just go out there. I'm like, hey, I remember I drove you in high school. Well, shut the door. I'm gonna go out there and drive something else now.
If it was high school when you drove, that was a long time.
Well, no, but I'm saying I drove it, and that's the kind of thing I'm not really. I don't think I'm gonna be too hyped when my
You're 30
S14.
now, dog.
Yeah.
It wasn't 5 years ago.
Well, when my pro car, last time I drove it was 2 years ago, or it was last year. But my pro car, I mean, I already have the tune from the last setup, so I'm just gonna get in it and drive. I'm more excited for your first startup.
You know what's crazy though? You said, man, you're gonna finish the FD before me. I finished the Kookie, and I did, and it blew up before you finished the Kookie.
Wait, the Kookie's finished.
I thought you needed like alignment and a tune still.
Still needs alignment.
I mean, it needs an alignment to dial it into like I could street drive right now, and the tune is good enough to street drive. Like I could street drive right now.
And it'll last way longer than my car.
I don't know. And plus, I might pull the motor out of that and put it in my pro car in the long run. So I don't really know what I'm doing with that.
Yeah.
That's just sit.
Just like start, yeah. It's like a.
Get your FD back. Get your FD back, and then we'll talk. Because I don't really have a point to drive it right now because I have the Z and I'll have the other S14.
Yeah.
And it's.
I got the Chaser anytime. Like, man, we should. Being that life is kind of hectic right now, we should try to find like, our next event. But we should also go to like some kind of. You're putting Kansai wheels on the Kuki too, right? Purple car.
Yeah. I just didn't order them.
Okay, you haven't ordered them yet. I was thinking you already did. But we should, I don't know. I want to say we should go to like a meet or something in the
We
Chaser.
can. I mean, it would probably, it doesn't take much for me to get that car ready. And my eyeball alignment, and then I'm good to go.
We have those Edmund Auto shows. Those ones are pretty good with Goon, 405 Goon.
I'd be down to do something like that on a weekend because I haven't, like, a quick one.
So it is summer, and we don't have AC. So let's chill out on that till about September, October, and then I'm in.
You want to put a compressor on the JZX? Maybe I think that's all it needs. I got a new one.
I don't know about all that. It might be a little tight.
Yeah.
Might be a little tight. Oh no, that was your FD that was tight.
I don't know.
Regardless. But I feel like, what is our time right now?
51.
Yeah, this is way past. 45
Let's
minutes
just
is our
keep
good.
going, man.
We can. You want to make it a
I
real?
got like 10 minutes to make up from last week. 'Cause I
Okay,
didn't feel good.
we'll keep going with it. But to answer your question with my Z, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know if we end up building a track in the future. Maybe I'll leave that car at the track.
I was thinking about keeping mine exactly how it is, running, driving,
Mm-hmm.
putting a big pole out front and just putting it up there. And people are like, why is that car up there? It doesn't run. I'm like, no. And then like climb the pole and start it.
You could. I would hate to see that roof go bad because of the hail and stuff like that.
Car
But
like pole falls.
I don't know.
Just-
I'd love to do like a Canada event or something like that, and then take our cars over there, like those cars, not the pro cars.
Yeah.
That's always gonna be my missile car, no matter what.
You
It's
guys
always.
ever do a drift week though?
No.
Those have been getting pretty.
No, I respect the people who do Drift Week, but I'm telling you right now,
Those cars get messed up. Man.
no, it's not even that. I just don't like driving my car that much. Like, I love driving my car, but I also love a truck and trailer that's super comfy. I know there's
like driving all
There-
day, covered in tire.
there's something about that aura. I know they do it with Drag Week that people love, driving their drift cars across the United States. I love the truck that I drive.
If for some reason John decided to do a drag week, would be the only reason I did a drag week, I would 100% get the AC fix in the JZX and just do that.
Yeah.
That's 100% a car I
Because
could.
I know they do a Texas one where it's here.
I
Texas,
don't.
Kansas.
Y'all got to realize I don't like driving on the road in general. I like going to events and hanging out, but driving by myself to some place, or even with people in the car, no AC, I'm out. I like to drifting for me is the experience of us driving across the United States together. Going to an Airbnb, hanging out, not really having to worry about the drift cars until the day of and the day after, and then that's it for me. I respect the people that do it. I say nothing bad about it. I think it's a really cool opportunity. I would drift every day for a week if we're in Japan and not driving on the main roads. I'm cool with
Yeah,
that.
because they do that Ibisu thing where they have like 5 or 4 tracks there, and you can
Yeah.
really sleep at the track. They have cots for you.
No,
I
see,
would
I'm
never
getting that.
do, but
I'm getting a hotel. I'm a little bougie now, but
Yeah.
I don't really want to speak on the future because I never want to say never on a lot of things, and opportunity may present us a different thing.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe some kind of.
I want this to take off. I think it's going to take off next year. I'm kind of focusing more on traveling outside the United States, maybe building up relationships, coming up with a little bit more money, traveling, drifting in, I don't know, Japan or Australia or a different thing. Making bigger things happen, whether it's next year, whether it's not. I'm just open to opportunities and making it happen, whatever that entails going forward. And then
I
see how
say
it
this is a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
And say thanks for watching. Thanks for being here again. Thanks for being like one of the 4 people that see this.
Hey, I'm all cool. Y'all like the party. Y'all are following our
The
party.
4
I'm
people
for
that
it.
see it. There's 3 of us that watch it here, and then
Hey,
I think our views don't count. If you look at on the
it
Who
doesn't
cares?
matter. If you're supporting us, and I tell this about everything. I'll end this on the community car. The community car, people have asked me how many times, how much to rent it, how much to drive it. It
not
is
for rent.
literally not for rent. There's no amount of money that I'm going to let people drive for. It is the sole purpose of that build is all the money coming out of my pocket and his pocket and all of our pockets is to literally support the community. So whoever's been supporting us this entire time, I'm literally doing this for you guys. And if it's just 2 of you guys supporting us the entire time, well, guess what? Y'all are gonna have a ton of seat time because this car is for you.
Yeah.
So I really do appreciate you guys for watching, for staying in contact, for supporting us, I guess, moving forward and now, and we appreciate you guys. End it on that.